And now we're off.
Hello.
Ah, there we go. Howdy. How's it going?
It's going well.
This is... What's this one again?
War with a mate.
War with a Mate, that's the one. Yes, it's War with a Mate with...
I'm Andy.
Ah, yeah. You look different.
I've shaved quite a lot of hair off.
You have. You still got some lovely locks.
Yeah, I need to do a second pass.
I would like to have hair like yours. I'm James, by the way.
What? Like a sort of weird fro.
I don't know, you got like sort of like a nice like curly look to it.
It's got some nice kills.
I've got a bit of salt and pepper going on,
Yeah.
but it's not curly. It doesn't have texture. That's the issue.
Well, you should layer it.
If I just had my hair as is, it is just flat.
Yes.
Like if I didn't, I don't think you've ever seen my hair in its natural state.
Not like gelled.
Yeah, like not with something in.
You used to have it like long and straight, like just before I met you.
Yeah, I don't think you ever saw it in the flesh though.
I think you might have had long hair for a bit.
I had a bit of a Paul McCartney thing going on, I think, when I first met you.
Yes, it wasn't like shoulder length, but it had some volume.
Yeah, it was like Paul McCartney and the Beatles in like the maybe like 70s or 80s, where it's just like this big bowl cut that kind of got out of hand. It's because I got a cut and I just let it grow out, didn't do anything to it.
I mean, that's what I do with mine.
That's a good point. Yours goes out though.
Yeah.
Mine just got strange.
I have realised I leave the left hair side is slightly longer. And I've realised it's because I'm right-handed.
Oh,
so when I'm shaving...
Oh, do you do that yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, that actually turned out really well.
Oh, thanks.
It also explains...
I like how there was a sweet spot where it's like, I'm not going to mention it, because if it was a professional cut, they fucked it.
It also explains why there's a little bit of hair in your kitchen.
Yes, I did it in the kitchen.
The food place. That's interesting, because you do have a bathroom.
But I can't get electricity in there.
Oh my god, thank you. There we go.
No, I can't get from a socket
right.
to plug the razor in.
You don't have a wireless razor?
No.
Oh my god, that's right. We're not getting back into this 2 weeks in a row. I'm not getting back. If you're going to hurt yourself in some sort of electrical fire, that's on you, man. That's not my responsibility. What is my responsibility, however?
Is talking about the campaign for North Africa, so should we do that?
It is. That's what we'll talk about. It's the game that we're playing. That's why you're here. You know that we're playing the game. You know that we're waxing philosophical about why we're playing the game. It's because it's a long game and we want to do that. It's because we've got nothing better to do. And we're partway through now. We may as well finish the damn thing.
Turn to Upstage 2.
That's right. We are really digging into it. I think we made a good dent in Upstage 2 today.
Yeah, felt like a real tortoise versus the hare one, where I didn't feel like we were doing much, and then I looked back and I was like, oh no, we've done like half an Upstage.
We did. We made some solid changes.
So did all the bookkeeping.
You know what? I really struggle to not say solid progress, and I feel like I say it all the fucking time. So I really have to catch myself saying solid progress.
Yeah.
And you need to start throwing stuff at me whenever I say that. Because you know what? It completely dilutes the meaning of it.
If it's the same every time.
But we did some stuff. We'll say that. Did some stuff. Where do we start off? We started off with water distribution, which is a behind-the-scenes admin, which we'll pick up through the week. It means that we don't have to spend our time today sat opposite each other filling out spreadsheets, when now we just assign ourselves homework.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, that's great. I love taking this game home with me. That's fun. So that part was abstracted. We don't need to worry about the troops on the ground just yet because we weren't moving them. We never got to movement today. That never came up. What we did manage to do is the fine minutiae of aircraft.
Well, before that, you did the first construction.
Oh, I did. I built something today.
You made a real or dummy supply dump. I'm unsure.
Which is for me to know and you to find out.
Yes.
Construction is something we've not actually dabbled in yet. And it felt like a sort of half-arsed one because construction in the game, it's a whole segment which we haven't actually got to before. Well, we've got to it. Every time we've got to it, though, we've just went, well, it's too costly to build anything. Let's not.
Well, I was thinking of building something last turn, but then the hot weather doubles all the requirements.
Yes, all the water requirements like shoot up.
Yeah, same with rainstorm. Because we've had fairly bad weather.
Yeah, it turns out the desert is not a predictable weather pattern.
You just can't build stuff there.
Yeah, I don't know why. It actually explains why there's not much stuff in the
Yeah.
desert. Sort of why it's a desert, I suppose. Otherwise, it's just Vegas or Dubai.
Deserts with
Yeah.
a mall on them.
Deserts where you can lose all your cash.
Stationary cruise ships.
That's a very nuanced way to describe those cities, but I can't disagree.
That's what they are.
Well, I built a little bit of a Vegas. I built a supply dump. That's what I went for.
And I started some risky construction of my own.
You did very, very risky construction because of the tenuous situation your men are in.
Yes, because I've decided to fortify the road. I should probably have done it earlier, but the top of the road where I've had the 4th Indian camped. I was like, I'm going to try and put some fortification here, but that does take 3 op stages. If they spend their CPA for any reason, the construction stops. You have a division about, I'm estimating, 2 to 3 op stages away. So if they get in there and bombard and manage to get them, the construction's over and I lose the resources I put into it.
Yes, I think yes. Let me paint everyone a picture. So the northern road of North Africa, along the Libyan and Egyptian border, there is a conflict brewing, and along that northern road, you have the 4th Indian Division, which is your group of men, to the right on the side of Egypt, and over to the left, across a border to Libya, I have 3 divisions or division-sized groups which are marching along an unfinished road.
Yeah, so that's just clear is basically the default tile.
It is, yeah. So it's just sort of clear sand along coastal stretches. And these 3 divisions are marching their way along. There's an unfinished road which can be constructed. We can choose to build that. And they are, about 2 op stages away from getting to you. And there's nothing in between. And if I get past your 4th Indian Division, I then reach the constructed portion of the road, at which point I can just ride that road straight down to Mersa Matruh and then follow that along to Cairo, Alexandria. It's bad news if I get there.
Yes.
And you're trying to fortify the position, which means that you have huge benefits in close assault. So if I get anywhere near you and you're fortified, it's going to cause some real hassle for me. But the timescale that you're working on is construction finishing in 3 op stages. I'll be there in 2.
Yes, which I can decide not to involve them in the fight.
You can.
Then they won't spend CPA, but it costs CPA to get bombarded. So if you pick the right infantry that I've assigned to it, that construction just ends.
All it takes is me dropping some howitzers on the right people, and that construction is over, and the close assault becomes a nightmare for you.
Yes.
Because you are massively outnumbered. And the current conflict that we have going a little further south of that, against the 4th Black Shirts, that is your only real backup that you can have. But your men are locked into a fight because you're trying to snuff out the 4th Black Shirts, which escalated a little bit further today.
Yes. So I'll just keep it in order.
Yeah, so we had the construction, which we've done. The supply dump that I built is a nice way station for me to drop off some supplies. I'm trying to re-fortify my supply network, which, as you may know if you've been listening, fell apart very early on in the game. I'm trying to recoup that. I'm trying to rebuild and resupply those men with a steady stream of ammo, food, water, and fuel. So building that supply dump was a good way to do that. It also means if I do push past the 4th Indian Division, I can then quite comfortably fuel that supply line and just march all the way down that road.
Yeah, I'll have to sort of hold you there, but there's a few places where I can do a sort of fighting retreat.
There are, but nonetheless, you're going to lose.
I mean, yeah, you have 250,000 men, and I have 30,000.
Yeah, running the numbers on that, that's not good for you at all.
Shocking that the Italians lost in real life.
Yeah, we know why. We've listened to the history segments. We know who was behind all of this, and they were not, I think, the most sound-minded of men.
Yeah, and then Operation Compass.
Yeah, well, some actual tactical play on part of the Commonwealth as well played a huge part in that.
Yeah, they had better generals, I'd say.
I would be inclined to agree. In several aspects, they were
Which
better.
is now risking for me, because what they managed to overcome numerical odds and air superiority was tactical genius, but I have to provide that myself.
You've got a bit of tactical, maybe not genius, but savantship.
I'll take that and the hidden backhanded idiot that went before it.
Well, I didn't say that part out loud, so you can't be angry at me.
I can project whatever the hell I want onto you.
That's what happens when you give this man a microphone. He comes alive and he becomes angry. Well, construction wrapped up, and following that construction, we then took to looking at our air stuff, our planes, our bombers, our fighters, and we put together a few missions. And my supplies and my airfields they're running real low. I was able to get together some ammunition for some of my fighters, which can strafe, and I was able to...
That was a nasty strafe.
It was. I was able to get some bombs in as well. I've got enough bombers that I could go for a bombing mission. So I got some fighters to strafe the 4th Indian Division.
Yeah, lost a toe.
You did. You lost a toe. A toe point, that is, which is 100 men, not a single...
Single digit.
Yeah, not a single extremity. And I also then dropped a bombing run, which is to be resolved still, because I'm trying to bomb another portion of that road that I've just mentioned, which is along the northern coast, which I guess if I do win, it's detrimental to me. But in the interim, it's bad for you because it breaks your supply chain to the 4th Indians.
Yes.
So that will be resolved next session, because it turns out you've got an airfield nearby, which I always forget about, at Mercer Matru. It's the same one that I had trouble with several weeks ago. And you've scrambled 2 squadrons to try and tackle my bombers.
3, 2 of them got...
2 of them got off.
Yeah, because I don't know if we mentioned scrambling. There's a table. If you're going 1 to 2 hexes, you definitely do it. 3 to 4, it's more likely you need to roll a 5 or lower, and then that goes out to 15 and 1.
Yeah, 15 hexes for a scramble is scary. Yeah. I really don't like that. 10 to 15, I think you get with a 1. 10 to 15 hexes you can fly. Yeah. So, yes, turns out you've got squadrons ready to go. Did not factor that into my plan. So the bombing run may be hindered somewhat. However, I hope I take out that part of the road. Really fucks your trucks. And that's what we do here. We fuck the trucks. You, however, have bombing missions of your own.
Yes, I've bombed and also strafed the 4th Black Shirts.
Yes, the strafe missed completely. Very happy to see that happen.
Yeah.
The bombing went very successful, and you've pinned 4 of my battalions.
Which is a lot of the division, I'm guessing.
It's 400 men. It was 4 out of 7 infantry battalions.
Not 400 men, that's 4 toe points.
4 oh, yes, sorry. Even more. Yeah.
Because each one will be, sort of, I'm guessing, between 5 and 10 toe points.
I mean, yeah, you're looking at... You've pinned thousands of men with these bombs.
Yes.
So, yeah, I guess I'll not give away how many toe points each one consists of. But you've pinned thousands of men collectively. I don't love that at all. It means that they're stuck. They are up shit's creek without a paddle, and you've boxed them in with your men. I think it's the 7th Armoured Division that's there, isn't it?
Yes.
They are going to cause some havoc for the 4th Black Shirts.
They are going to kill them.
They are going to...
ideally.
They are probably going to kill... I'm not going to really sugarcoat it. They're going to really fuck them up. The only thing is, it really depends on how risky you play this, because you could sit there and you could whittle them down to their last numbers and kill them completely. But that would mean sitting there for the next 4 or 5 op stages while you whittle them down.
I don't think it's going to take that.
I think it would take that, because I have reinforcements nearby.
Oh, I think I can get them done this op stage.
All of them?
Yes.
I don't think so.
If my thing is double yours, you get a huge bonus. And it was 4 and 7 last time, and I've pinned.
Yeah, actually running those numbers. Yeah, don't love that, actually.
Also, from what you said, they're pretty low on ammo.
I don't remember saying that.
You did. I remember you saying it.
Well,
whereas for me, the 7th have like 1.5 going hams in them left.
Thank God we don't record a podcast every week to document whatever I said. That way there's no way to know who's right or wrong.
I mean, I'm certainly not going to listen to it.
I don't have that luxury. I have to edit this, so I have to listen to them back. And unfortunately, I know that I definitely said that, and it is true. Shucks. It's not ideal. It's not the best thing that could happen this week.
Certainly not.
But it happens. That's life. That's war. And the only real saving grace that I have today aside from the fact I have so many men marching along the North Road, is the fact that we looked at repair rules properly.
Yes, I've got a bit of bookkeeping to catch up on because we've decided. Well, yeah, you've got all of yours. We've not been doing it, so you moved them and sort of caught up on some turns. We thought it was worth allowing us to like correct the mistake, as it were.
Yeah, so what we've done is we've retroactively moved. Well, we are retroactively moving. I've had a pretty thorough database of all my broken down shit. So we've retroactively moved them to the repair facilities they would have got to by this point. But it's only from this turn, this op stage, that we're going to start the repair process at the facilities. So in essence, I've got a huge backlog of stuff needing repaired that's been there for 2 or 3 op stages in some instances, but I'm only now starting to repair them the end of this op stage. To keep some aspect of fairness, since we are playing catch-up, it means that neither of us end up with a huge, massive backlog of replacement points and extra trucks that are just ready to roll out. Instead, we're paying for our mistakes of sloppiness with the repair rules, which we only really got some clarity on a few weeks ago. So that has given me a lot more trucks. And also, as of next op stage, the end of the next towing phase, I will have, well, this phase, actually, this op stage's towing phase, I'm going to have 7 tow points of tanks ready into Brook to be repaired.
Oh, that's nasty.
Which is a lot. However, looking at the repair table, it's actually very unlikely I get all of them. I think it's like 25% is what I'm likely going to get. 33% on a good roll.
Because you can't get 100 outside of major cities, can you?
So it's in
a temp one, you can't.
It's in a major city, but it is temporary. Yeah. And because of the fortification level, that also drops the rating, I believe. I'll have to reconsult the table. I haven't done any repairs yet, so I haven't given it a real granular look, but that seems to be the case. Yeah. So it's not the best thing in the world, but it's going to be a game changer for me because a lot of what I'm repairing are trucks. And as you know, I'm low on trucks. Those trucks will be primarily on a mission to resupply my airfields so I can start doing some more horrible air stuff to you, because that is really where I shine.
Yeah, I don't want you to get your air superiority back as this wave of divisions hits.
It would be a disaster.
Yes.
Because realistically, my first thing to do would be strafe and or bomb the 4th Indians, trapping them and picking off their tow points, ready for my divisions to show up, stamp on them, and then just march their way along east to Mercer Matru. Because when I hold Mercer Matru, which will happen, and I still hold Siwa, which will continue to happen.
Yeah, I'm not taking Siwa.
That means that if I just hold those positions, I've won the scenario when it comes to a close.
Yes.
So it's not going to be that difficult to pull off.
No, I think you will get this. I think you will get the scenario. I've got some stuff, but I think it's going to tricky stuff playing off.
Yeah, my real fear is that I hold Mercer Matru, I hold Siwa, and then have to continue holding it. And that's going to become the scary part of the game, when I have to hold down a position that I've already captured. Because that, I feel like, is going to be a completely different ball game.
I mean, yeah, the defense is quite different. I do have a bunch of units arriving. I've got a couple tank regiments incoming this turn, which should help.
Well, my plan, hopefully, to outline it for you, is to hold Mercer Matru by the end of turn 4. Reasonable. And then just keep it fortified for turns 5 and 6.
Yeah.
That's the goal. That is the picture I've now painted. It's crazy to think I now actually have a strategy that extends all the way through to the end of the scenario.
Yeah, I don't really have that.
It doesn't feel like, not to sort of rain on your parade, it doesn't feel like you've made progress towards the objective, so to speak. You've taken a real strong stance on, I mean, I really fucked it with the 4th Black Shirts. I put them out there on a limb. What it has done is distracted your 7th Armoured Division in a way that I definitely didn't design, but it's been kind of a godsend. Yeah. Because if I didn't realise I had those extra divisions and you moved them further north, I could have had some real trouble. So instead, it's created this, again, savant situation where I've ended up in a really good spot by chance. So you've not really made any march towards the objectives because of that?
No, I think what I've been doing is fuck the trucks, obviously. I'm just trying to stop you getting set up to launch. But I think because we both missed those divisions,
Yeah, it changed the
them sort of materializing, I think, benefited you more than the turn you weren't using them. If
yeah.
you know what I mean, like.
It does change things hugely because we were playing off the idea that I had half the divisions up there than I did. So it means that when it comes to the main game, which we will get to, again, for the unaware, this is a practice. We're playing 6 turns as a practice run, and then we're getting into the full thing. And now I feel like when we go into the full thing, it's going to be a very different situation.
I guarantee you it will look completely fucking different.
I think it's going to be a very bloody affair in the first few turns and first few op stages compared to this.
Yeah, well, I think we'll both be more like confident, as it were, with what units are capable of, where you can send them,
Yes.
keeping them supplied.
Because after the first few op stages, I was thinking, wow, if this is how careful we're taking it in the practice, imagine how slow we'll be in the main game. But I think it's going to be the complete inverse.
I wouldn't describe my play as careful.
I would say relative. I think you could have definitely went harder. It would have been riskier. I admit.
I'm currently thinking I've been too aggressive, in particular with the 7th.
I think with the 7th, yes, but I was with the 4th as well.
Yeah.
I feel like they are both our guinea pigs when it comes to aggression.
Which is kind of bad for me because they're my elite.
Yes. And the 4th are one of my elites as well. I've got another 2 Blackshirt divisions on the way, remember. They're not even here yet.
Yeah, they're moving over from Tripoli, aren't they?
I think this might be the turn they arrive at Nephilia.
Yeah, and then they'll shoot up along that coast road.
I do need to motorize them.
Oh, good.
That is a plan I have. I do have the trucks for it.
You've got the trucks to motorize a division.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, I just need to empty out the trucks. And then I can motorize pretty much everything in there.
Oh, and run light on supplies, like balance
Yes.
supply dump. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, my plan would
And
be
then unmechanize them when they're close enough and
yes,
stock them up.
unload them at either Benghazi, Tobruk, or Bardia, and then fill the trucks up with supplies, and then move into whatever the front is at that point.
Yes.
So that is my rough plan for them. I just need to figure out the numbers, make sure I've definitely got the right amount of trucks. There's a lot of trucks that come from that direction. So I need, double check those. I can definitely do at least one of the divisions. So I might just do that with one of them and then have one slowly trail along.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of options I've got for them. I'll be honest, I think I'm sitting pretty without them.
No, I think you are, yeah.
Which is crazy to think. Was that everything that we did today?
We did the fleet phase, which, because they'd already bombarded, I just moved the counters
Yes, you moved them back.
back to Alexandria, but there's nothing much.
Yeah, not much to
So,
report
because
there.
they fired on the first op stage, which means op stage 2 and 3, they need to, basically they can fire once per turn.
Yes, yeah. So we did the refitting. We did the adjustment for water. Well, we've got that ready to go. And yeah, the air stuff. You know what? We didn't have any sort of rule queries today, which is rare. Usually we have to check at least one thing in the rules. The only thing we did have to look at were the tow things, but it was just really to check how many CPA they get, because we thought it was 10. It is 10. That was it, though. I don't think we actually had to check any rules today, which is crazy.
I think we're the most comfortable with the organization phase at the minute, because it's by rote, basically. It's just apply this subtraction. And I think we're both comfortable with the air stuff, because personally for me it feels fairly intuitive.
It is. I think the air stuff is good. It's happening every op stage. It's also fun, which makes it a lot easier to get through, because it has immediate payoff.
I thought the resolving air combat one plane versus one plane at a time would get really slow.
Yeah.
But it's very quick to resolve each one once you get into a flow.
It is.
And I think that table's balanced nicely. to give like a sense of drama where if you've got the overwhelming advantage, you will probably down the other plane.
Yes.
But because the plane that's weaker goes first, there's always a chance
That they get off a lucky
bomber
shot.
kills the ace, or like, so there is the tension there. So I mean, weirdly, I think of the sort of three pillars of the game, my enjoyment currently is air game, logistics, land combat.
Yes, that's fair enough. Ooh, I would go logistics last, mostly because of the trouble I've had with the trucks. It's not that it's not fun, and again, that's a scary thing to say because there was a time when I absolutely despised the idea of it. I do have an aspect of enjoyment with it, even though my truck stuff is going pretty bad. I just think it pales in comparison to the other stuff. The land combat for me is now fun. I was saying this just before we hit record. I really enjoy now that it feels like there's weight to it. It feels like we're actually trying to get ground. It feels like we're trying to push each other back or hold our own instead of it being a case of, well, we're just kind of fighting each other for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Because that's what it felt like for a long time. It felt like it was just have a skirmish for the sake of a skirmish because we were trying to figure out what's okay and what isn't.
Getting an understanding that most combat is going to be prolonged.
Yeah, long,
like it's
protracted
not
conflict.
position, decisive moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, two divisions could be in contact for, like... I can see down the future two, like, big, heavy-hitting divisions that are fairly evenly matched, spending, like, 2 turns, potentially, like, whittling each other away.
You whittle me away.
Okay.
It's not a good thing. You whittle down my patience.
That's not very nice. I'm trying to talk about the land combat.
I don't want to talk about the land combat.
Why not?
Let's just do some listener mail.
Bad attitude, man.
They've sent in mail, Andy. They've sent a mail for you and I to read. So I think we should read it.
Oh.
Wow, that's a hot take.
Horrible thing to say.
We spent like 12 episodes begging people to send in emails. And now that they're sending in the emails, you don't want to fucking read them.
Oh, no, I just checked our recording thing. I didn't realize we'd been talking for half an hour.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess we've also talked about everything.
Just getting into it.
Wow, you really are. You've got weird time dilation going on when you record this.
I just overall today, I think.
Oh, you're having a bad one.
Not bad, just untethered from time.
That's a bad day. That's a really bad day. You should always be anchored in linear time. You're not a Time Lord.
Not yet.
I mean, this is Gallifrey.
I wish.
You wish you lived on Gallifrey.
Yeah, then we could spend all our time doing this, and it's not a meaningful chunk of our lives. It's just a thing we did once.
Yeah, but if this wasn't a meaningful chunk of our lives, it kind of defeats the point. The reason that this is a cool thing, right, that's not the right word.
Cool is incorrect.
Yeah, the reason that this is a noteworthy thing is because it's taken up far too much time.
Okay, so Time Lord podcasts suck because they're immortal, so there's no stakes.
Yeah, that's why short-lived podcasts don't go anywhere.
Okay, you were right. Let's read some mail.
So, speaking of short-lived, we've got a very long email.
Yes.
The email comes from Josh. Now, Josh has bestowed upon us a lot of questions, so we'll just get through this one email, I reckon.
Yes.
And what we'll do, you usually would read the whole thing and then respond to the question at the end, or the 2 questions. But since it looks like there's about 10 here, I guess we'll do some rapid-fire answers as we go. I also think 10 was very undershot. I think there's more than 10.
We'll get to them.
So, Josh writes, "Gentlemen, fuck the trucks, and I will burn Cairo to the ground."
That's both our catchphrases.
Yeah, I'm not sure which side you're rooting for here, Josh. In the game, I think I know which one you're rooting for in real life. I hope. I also don't advocate burning Cairo to the ground for what it's worth. A pleasure to send queries, comments, and critiques. Your brand of insanity/competition is right up my alley. I truly hope, though have my doubts, to follow you two on your journey decades into the future. I deeply appreciate this podcast no one asked for. Well, thank you. And I hope about you don't think that you'll follow us into the future. I hope that means, you're not doubting your own lifespan. I hope maybe you just think that you'll become disinterested and disenchanted with us because it gets worse.
And I hope neither of them happens. I hope you live forever and you're always interested.
Again with the fucking Time Lord stuff, man. I deeply appreciate this podcast no one asked for. It's clear your friendship is real and true. Oh, no, it's completely synthetic, my friend. We don't even know each other, really.
Yeah, this is a sort of X Factor boy band situation.
We are the One Direction of Hex Encounter board games.
We were put together.
Simon Cowell put this together, and Simon Cowell will tear it apart. You even each other out and keep accountability with grace. Always a pleasure to listen to. There is a litany of questions below. Feel free to answer at least all of them. I like it. It's subtle. It's humble. It's definitely brave. Andy, should we do one for one? You read the first one?
Yeah, sure. A huge aspect of board games is replayability. How does it feel to only play a game once, even though it seems incredibly repetitive? Is there any weirdness to playing a game precisely once?
Well, that's interesting, because I mentioned this to you a couple of weeks ago when we were stood over the table and, stood there basking in its glory, hands on hips, chuckling and chortling. And I said, it's strange that we just get one more iteration of this. This stage of the game we get to see one more time. And then after that, that's it. There's no more.
It is a unique experience for board games or even a lot of video games that you have a long thing. I'm thinking Civilization, you might have 100 hours for a game.
Yeah.
But you will play another one.
Yeah.
Or in other board games, it's I'm going to try something. Oh, it didn't work. I'm going to be on the back foot or losing for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But there's stuff to learn from it for the next time I play. This time is, no, you got one shot at you got a little demo bit we get to do twice, but it's it could all come down to I thought that would work. And
yes.
It didn't, and now I'm going to spend 80 turns, aka 12 years, paying for that mistake, and I never get to apply the fix again.
Yeah, you never get to go back and amend that mistake. You never get to go back and reapply whatever you learn in turn 53 to what you would do in turn 1 again.
Yeah, there's no
do-over. If you make a mistake, you live with that mistake. Yeah. It is the one and only mistake.
Which is, I think, quite a unique thing for any game I've played.
I think what it will be is psychologically damaging.
Oh, yeah.
We get to learn this experience, we get to know what we did wrong, and we can never change it. It's sort of like having...
life.
Yeah, it's like having another life, except it's all in the theatre of war. So yeah, it's definitely weird. The second question is, can you replay a specific stage if the game breaks? Is there enough record keeping in place to attempt a temporal retreat into a playable state? So I would say, in essence, yes, there is, because we are going to be keeping a lot of bookkeeping, mostly to make sure we haven't got anything wrong. But ultimately...
in theory, our bookkeeping should be good enough that we can essentially pick up on any turn.
Yes, that's the idea behind the bookkeeping.
That is not... We've done a couple of those, shifts for, if a rule's been completely wrong or,
Well, look at the repair stuff today.
Yeah, or a unit's been in the wrong place, we had the first one where I had a unit behind your lines and it turned out it should have been on map D, not map C.
Yes, when you first took out an SGSU, that was a subject of that.
So I think we'll try to have them, but I think we want to be catching them as quickly as possible rather I don't think I could handle being right, we'll take back the last 10 turns.
Yeah, I think it's more a case of we haven't really applied a rule yet. In this practice run, we're a bit more fast and loose with it. We'll probably have to sit down and have a definitive chat about what that looks like in the full game. I personally wouldn't say anything more than the previous play session, because I think if we start going back further than that, it becomes a whole other ordeal of having to retcon these huge changes.
Yeah. And also part of the experience, we are going to fuck some stuff up.
Yeah,
and
we
we
are.
are going to do some stuff wrong.
It's kind of part of the game. The fact that it's just two of us playing, it means that there's so little oversight. Making those mistakes will be part of the experience, I think.
And there's no, like, I've talked about this before, there's not really the Google resource. So a lot of it is like, yeah, we might get it wrong, but it's not like we've ignored stuff.
Yes, as long as it's just a sort of a mistake where someone has overlooked something, maybe they've not utilized 3 divisions they had, and then they can start moving them afterwards. That's fair enough. But if it's the case that one of us turns around and goes, "Oh, I actually had all of these bombers that can actually use torpedoes, and I've never used torpedoes. I would like to do that 4 turns ago."
No.
Tough. You've missed the time to do that. We have to just move on.
Oh, there'll be no going back for, like, I missed this.
Yes.
Because that's part of the game. Is
And as for the...
you've messed your keeping up, and there were a flight of bombers that you didn't use for the whole thing.
Yeah,
You're
if it's
a bad
decision...
general.
Yes. As for if the game breaks, we don't really know what that might look like, and the game may break. We will just have to cross that bridge when we get to it. That could be years down the line, and it'll be exciting when it happens. Andy, next one.
Do you think the history sections will give you tactical advantages in the game? Will you be able to institute / avoid real-life folly / triumphs? I think it probably will.
I think to an extent. I've definitely looked at the game differently after hearing the history segments that you've provided.
Yeah.
I do look at it through a different lens, which is bizarre. But because it is meant to be a simulation of the whole thing, it does feel like there is some credence to the sort of warnings of history.
Also, I wasn't particularly into military history at all. Like, even the history I was into wasn't, like, armies and tactics and stuff.
Yeah.
So, it's just adding that as well to, like, things I've, like, learned, like, the just tactics I wouldn't. And also, I think it will be helpful because they've tried to simulate it pretty closely. Knowing what people fucked up on.
Yes.
Like, Rommel could have taken Egypt, but his supply lines were absolute shit. And if you look at it slightly closer, it's like, kind of couldn't have taken Egypt and maybe isn't as good a general.
Oh, I guess, yeah, in that case, if he fucked his supply lines, the answer is no, I haven't learned anything from these history sections. The next one is there a vision of adding more players to speed it up? Even if you get one more player each to help once a month? Or does the learning curve / friend roster prohibit that? I guess...
Friend roster.
Bit of both. The learning curve, it means that we have to have somebody sit in training for 4 months learning the rules. Then they have to be ingratiated into the current situation of the game, which probably means us sitting them down, briefing them on all of our spreadsheets, having them listen to every episode prior so they're up to date with everything that's happened. It's one, I think, logistically impossible, and two, sort of defeats the point of this to an extent. We set off with just the two of us. It feels like cheating at the game.
I don't know if it feels like cheating. It's just like, I don't know anyone else who would commit to this.
I don't know that
So
there's
we'd
anyone
be
else I trust with this.
Because we need to be able to, like, come round once or twice a week to my house and hang out for, like, 10 plus hours a week.
Yeah, it's a
And
lot.
also, we need to commit to the game. So it's not a huge Venn diagram in the people I know.
You sort of have to be there from the start.
Yeah.
So it's a nice idea that someone would help, but I just don't think they can.
Does the practice round have any carryover to the actual game?
Only in life experience.
Yes, a tremendous amount in, oh, I fucked this up. Ooh, this should have been done better. None in terms of, like, the winner gets an advantage or anything.
No, we start again from scratch. When the scenario's over, we start again from the very beginning. The only thing we carry with us are our regrets. What level of guardianship do you feel to help others trying to play? I guess kind of touched on that there. I feel a very strong sense of guardianship. Gatekeeping comes to mind, massively so.
But I do want to... If people want to give it a go, I'd send them the spreadsheets and stuff. Like,
Oh, if someone else wanted
Like,
to do
it-
this, then yes,
In
absolutely.
terms of like guardianship on our game,
Yes, massive guardianship on our game. If anyone else wants to try this, I think that's hilarious. By all means, give it a go. It'd be very funny to see how someone else gets on with this. But just, yeah, not at our table, but at your own, absolutely go for it.
Yeah.
Just bear in mind what you're getting into. It's not a good idea.
and maybe at the end of this, we release all the document templates and whatnot and rule addenda that speeds up the bookkeeping, and someone can play in a couple hundred hours instead of a couple thousand,
Yes.
which is a crazy. Are you treating the rules as a living document? Are you inserting/editing rules as you go? We do have our own addenda and our own rulings on certain things.
Yes, that's more a case of clarifying ambiguous rules more so than it is making up our own. We feel like the game is designed, as you can probably tell by now, very carefully. Yeah. There's just some stuff that, because of how complicated it is, it seems like there's gaps in it. Either there's gaps or we just can't find the information in the minutiae of the text. But
No, I do think there was more and it got cut, so there are mentions of things, but yeah, it's just clarity. We're not adding our own rules or anything.
I'm having a look through this. There's still so many questions. Should we maybe pick up one more and then maybe we just have to split this in two parts? Because God, we've got a hell of a lot from you there, Josh.
And they've all started a bit of conversation, so if you read this, it'll be a 3-hour episode.
Yeah, these are really good questions, by the way. Really enjoy this email. This is a hell of a good one. Tell you what, then, yeah, should we do one more? So what else we got here? Does the practice scenario cover every part/mechanic of the game, or is there new mechanics to discover as you play? Yes, there are still more mechanics. There are, the Germans, first of all. The Germans are not in the practice scenario. They don't come around till, I think, turn 30 or 40. So they're not even in the game.
There's the 10th Chariot Flotilla raid that you can do at some point, but not in this scenario.
Yeah, I can do once in the whole game.
Yes. I have the SAS.
Yes, you have the SAS.
Who have the Lafayette commandos.
I have Rommel.
You have Rommel. You have your own version of the Long Range Desert Group that becomes available at some point.
Yes.
I've not really even jumped into the Commonwealth production stuff at all.
Yeah, there is a ton of stuff that we actually haven't got to touch on. As well as that, we've got stuff like construction, which I've only kind of skimmed a little bit today. So there's mechanics that are available currently, which we may not even get to use. Probing, we haven't done.
No, neither of us have probed. Neither of us have done any reserve stuff.
Or scouting.
I think that is probe.
I think that.
Oh, no, patrol.
Patrol, sorry, is what it is. Yes, patrol, probe.
Because, yeah, there's mechanics that are like locked behind certain game turns, and also some mechanics we've just
chose not
like
to
I've
implement.
looked at probing and it's like a half attack, and I've not really seen an instance where I should be doing that.
Yeah, there's a ton of different stuff that we haven't actually got round to doing yet, either through choice or game restriction. But I'm excited to see how that manifests, either in the scenario, or maybe it's stuff that we only pick up in 15 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to say at this point, but yeah, a ton of stuff.
Goes back to that first one, just to loop it round of playing again, is like, could be on turn 57, and then it's like, reserves. I should have done my entire strategy around reserves, or like, I should be doing probes, or like, every turn. Like, just don't know.
I might do some reserves this turn, this op stage. Well, thank you very much for the email. We've got plenty more of that, so we will pick that up next time. Some brilliant questions in there, very thought-provoking, very retrospective, introspective, and futurespective. I don't know if that's a word, but if it's not, I've coined it.
Add it to the dictionary.
I am a wordsmith. I am a genius.
So,
however, retrospective. That means
yes,
going back to the past.
Here we go. Oh, fuck's I am recording.
Uh-oh, that didn't go exactly to plan.
I had a bit of a whoopsie. Sorry, guys. I messed up.
It's tomorrow.
Fuck.
Wow, the rest of The rest of that audio, that was all yesterday. We've got audio today now.
Yes.
It would seem not all of that got recorded, did it?
No, we had a little bathroom break, and then I came back and did the history segment and the common ground, but didn't press record again.
Yeah, so we nearly just had a section where it's me listening actively to your history segment, giving some and then common ground
you
from
ranting,
with your quiet tones in the background,
egging you on.
So I'm willing to wager this episode might be out a little late. So if that is the case, apologies. Now you know why this little Easter egg in the middle is giving away some behind the curtain action, and we've made a whoopsie.
Sorry, guys.
But we're here, and you're still going to get history segment, and you're still going to get common ground. We'll just rehash it a little bit.
Better late than never, hopefully.
No, they don't want it at all, Andy.
Oh, no.
If it's late, it's never. Well, I suppose we should get into the history segment. Now I have spoilers a little now, I guess, but if anything, I just feel like I'm in on the action. I know what comes next
It's
for
like watching
ABC.
your favourite film a second time.
Yeah, just don't ask me to recap it because I won't be able to do it as well as you.
I was going to...
Yeah, try and
This
hand me the
was a
history
scheme.
segment. Yeah.
But no, we're continuing. Andrew Brown Cunningham, ABC.
What a guy. ABC 123. Yeah. I said that last time, didn't I?
Yes, it's Pavlovian. Quote from him: "From the purely service point of view, I doubt very much if the Boer War did me much good. All the same, one could never regret it."
I'm willing to bet some people would have regretted that.
A lot of people involved. He describes some pretty rough shit where I'd be like, what? It's interesting you don't regret it, but he does give his reasoning why at the end.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I know what comes, which is why I think that statement is now even more Baroque than ever.
Yeah. But when we last left him, he was jumping on a ship with his friend Colt to go and serve on the Fox off in South Africa.
Ow, ow, ow. That's a wolf, actually.
It is.
Not a fox. Continue.
Well, he's on a ship called the Doris, the cast of which is like a sort of Agatha Christie Murder on the Orient Express mystery novel.
It's a real whodunit.
It is. You've got two naval cadets, a vice admiral, and an entire theatre company, a collection of music hall acts, a comedian, Cecil Rhodes, who created Rhodesia.
What a stacked cast.
Yeah, and it's also transporting Captain Prothero, a massive man with a jet black beard known as Prothero the Bad, who's going to be their captain when they get down there.
So Captain Poirot is on the Orient Express.
Yes, who also has the you know what I mean.
I don't know what this word is.
He has the name The Bad.
Oh, yes, I know the word you're trying to say now. Nomenclature? That's not it, is it?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Let's not get lost in the weeds on this.
I guess on the ship, who is Gal Gadot playing?
It's probably going to have to be one of the music hall artists or someone from the theatre company.
Yeah, probably. Enough champagne to fill the Nile.
Let's not cast her for anything.
Yeah, actually, let's scrap that. She's not part of the pod.
But part of the fun on the way down is they have a chess tournament going, which he describes as this. I eventually found myself in the final of the chess tournament, the other finalist being Cecil Rhodes. I had difficulty in getting him to play it off, as he always fobbed me off by asking if I had learned the moves yet. However, one afternoon I played and beat him after a fierce struggle. There was still one game, and it was 2 or 3 days before I eventually got him to the post. We finally played after dinner, and I had his queen and 4 moves, which finished it. I think he had dined well.
And I don't know if that's a bit of a sort of allusion to the fact he's a little bit tipsy, or if it's just that the guy's full.
Yeah, you might be trying to power through the meat sweats.
Which, to be fair, is not a good place to be.
It's not conducive for chess.
No, it does not provide the mental fortitude you think it would. It's not really brain food.
There isn't a bit in the Queen's Gambit where she eats several kilos of beef and then plays a tournament.
Well, I've seen the Queen's Gambit, have you?
No, actually, I'm guessing that. Is there a big beef eating scene?
You were, in fact, correct, Andy. There is not a beef indulgence scene.
Well, there you go.
That's probably why it didn't get a second season.
Wasn't it just that her life's... let's, again. we need to be a bit down when we do these or we get on tangents.
Yeah, if we're not tired, then we go on tangents. I'm reinvigorated. It's a new day. Let's play the game.
No. So they arrive in Cape Town. The Fox, which he's going to serve on, is away at the time. It's going to be back in a couple of weeks. So they're taken to the flagship Doris, which our man Prothero is the captain of. It's a second-class cruiser, which means it has like armored decks, but not armor along the side. And it's still using sails. These will become obsolete over the sort of next decade with the improvements in ships leading up to World War One, like all metal turbines, that kind of thing.
No more fun tall ships.
No. Which seems good. They seem to be pretty horrible to actually serve on.
I would imagine it's very bouncy on the water.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll give you an example of what it's like living on this one. It's incredibly uncomfortable. They have 29 midshipmen and cadets living in a room that's intended for 15 people.
Just doing the math there, that's nearly double.
Yes. 30, basically, for the most part, teenage boys in a cramped space for months.
Well, that's going to stink.
Yeah, that room is. Adding to that is the meals are bad because the price of food's high, so anything that's not just like base level, they have to pay extra for.
So they're just going for bog standard, I imagine.
Well, yes, because he describes his pay this way. Our pay as cadets was 1 shilling a day, plus a compulsory allowance of £50 a year, or £4, 3 shillings, 4 pence a month.
That's not not much at all.
It's not. So he's very happy when his actual ship that he's been posted to, the Fox, arrives back. It's smaller, but it's less crowded. There's only 8 of them in the gun room this time instead of 30. And he's also been promoted from naval cadet to midshipman. He got his paperwork signed on the Doris by Captain Prothero, stating that he conducted himself with sobriety and attention to his duties, has kept a log. So he's got a promotion, which is an extra 3 pence a day.
Hey, I mean, these things add up.
Moving up in the world, yeah. Although he's not going to get to keep a hold of that because at sea, his duty as assistant to the navigator, who's a man called Henry L. Dix, who teaches them navigation and piloting and stuff, and they get good at it. But they have to pay him for this privilege. So they're paying him 3 pence a day for tuition, which seems like a harsh system that like you're in the Navy and you have to also pay the Navy. Well, a guy in the Navy.
So the British have always been getting shafted by tuition fees, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, they're like built in on a like institutional level.
Yeah, we've got a lot of that in Britain.
Yeah. Apparently it used to be more.
Oh, so it went down.
It used to be your parents have to like provide, I think it was like 50 odd quid.
Which back then, that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, they are officers as well.
That's a good point. Yeah, these are people who are well off. Because ABC comes from a good family, like wealthy and renowned.
But fortunately, he describes what his tutor did with his money. He became entitled to 3 pence a day, automatically deducted from our pay of 9 for the naval instructor. It was a inquisitus system which began in the early 18th century, whereby midshipmen in seagoing ships, or rather their parents, here it is, each had to provide £25 a year to pay instructors by the captain. The sum was reduced to 3 pence a day. So, yeah, you used to have to have like a guarantor to work in the Navy. Dix, however, had other ideas. Each quarter, he'd solemnly hand to each of us a small bag of rupees representing our accumulated 3 pennies. He never thought he earned it, but his instruction and practical navigation was excellent and lasting. So he's a good guy by the sounds of it.
Yeah, the guy's given back. So he's kind of working pro bono to an extent. I imagine he gets pay from his actual sort of role in an official capacity.
Yeah.
And then this is a sort of an extra little bit of spending cash on top, which he's happy to give away. Good guy.
So he spends about a year serving on the Fox here, travelling up and down the east coast of Africa, because The British only have small gunboats and river boats, so they're covering a lot of territory, which he describes as being all intensely interesting to a boy of 15. And here and there, where there were British residents and links, I managed to put in quite a lot of golf. So he's enjoying his time sort of sailing up and down Africa, golfing and learning to sail.
Classic officer.
Yeah. Sounds like a pretty decent, like, chunk this bit, at least. Although he does have some health issues. Began losing weight rapidly. And he didn't have much to lose to begin with. He was always pretty skinny. He thinks it's probably because of the heat and unsuitable food. The staff surgeon happened to have worked for his father as one of his students.
All right.
So he was keeping an eye out on him. So the treatment prescribed was 1 glass of port after lunch and another after dinner. What effect this had on my weight, I do not recollect. But while it lasted, my work during the afternoon was not distinguished by much clear-headedness.
I would imagine so.
No.
The guy was having a little evening tipple.
That's a fun time in medicine when doctors were like, drink more alcohol, have some cocaine. Like,
that's actually something I'm not sure, because I've heard rumors of cases where people who suffer with like substance abuse, like alcoholism, are prescribed a certain amount of alcohol. I don't know if that is actually the case or if that is just an urban
when
myth.
You come off it, you have to, because alcohol, I think, is the only substance where if you're really addicted and you stop it, you'll die.
Oh, wow. So it does actually have that hard of an effect.
Delirium tremors, they're like shakes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they get much worse. Whereas, like, I think coming off other stuff, you can't die, but it's like your body's fucked. And whereas this, coming off alcohol can actually just kill you like if you're cold turkey.
Yeah, like the physical and chemical symptoms will kill you. Oh, wow. So maybe there is some truth to that then.
Yeah. But this is also, there's a part in here where he describes it's the day before wireless or remote communication other than like telegrams and stuff at fixed cities. So he describes the ship as subject to rather elastic program. Our captain had more or less a roving commission and was monarch of all he surveyed. Which is just, don't really think of the, like, you send the guys out and then it's like, well, I hope they don't do something crazy. No control over it. But they spend a lot of time, well, not a lot of time, but they practice firing torpedoes and firing the guns. But it seems pretty laxed and more of a fun thing. There's not a lot of worry about where the shells are actually landing.
Just popping them off into the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, later on we'll get to it, but he accidentally shoots a town.
That's a big thing to do. That's a massive mistake.
Yeah. So yeah, great year overall, and he's pretty gutted when he finds out the Fox is going back and he's staying on the Doris now instead of going back with it. Although he does get a promotion to the role of cutter, which is running a like small patrol boat that like accompanies the main one. And Prothero's back here being a bit of a taskmaster. He wants them out in every kind of weather to like get good sailing in rough conditions and stuff. So there's multiple times when like the cutter, their small boat, just washes up onto a beach and a crew of midshipmen have to just wait for a storm to end and like to get back. But this is when the war with the Boers is looking increasingly likely. It's like all they talk about amongst the ship, and they start doing long marches for infantry training as well. And they dye their nice white navy uniforms with coffee, so they'll be less distinguishable as snipers, which makes sense, just walking around in a war with a bright white suit on.
Well, I've done that on the way to work a few times when I've got coffee from Greg's or somewhere else, and I've spilled coffee on myself. So that explains why I've never been under sniper fire on the way to work.
Active camo.
Yeah. Always great in an urban environment.
Yeah. So, and the war does start October 12th, 1899. 2 other ships come to join them. The Terrible from Portsmouth and its sister ship, the Powerful, returning from China. They put together a naval brigade of about 350, consisting mostly of Marines, 290 of them, 2 small field guns, and then those are manned by sailors. And then later there's a further detachment of 400 who are mostly Marines sent, but they are sending midshipmen and like senior naval officers into this land conflict.
Oh, right, okay. So really mixed bag.
Yeah. And part of the reason for this is they don't have the artillery they need. So at this time as well, they're also experimenting taking the guns off the ships and trying to like mount them so they can use them on land.
Yeah, so they're really, they don't have the means to do it.
No, they're sort of MacGyver. It's sort of a bit not on to say the British Empire was MacGyvering against the Boers, but these specific guys were.
Yeah, that really downplays the massive artillery imbalance in this conflict.
And you are taking the gun off a ship.
Yeah, you already got the big advantage of having the ship.
ABC wants to go, but he gets left behind. He just doesn't get assigned to it. And he suspects here this is, again, a bit of his father's sort of legacy or shadow here, that's people not sending him to the front because his father's well known and well respected, and like a lot of ship's doctors and that sort of stuff know his father. So there's a bit of like keeping him safe there.
Yeah.
Which he describes to his mother in a letter. I'm fearfully sick at present at not getting up to the front. It is enough to make a saint swear to see these people about a year junior to you and only about 2 months on the station go up and you sitting down here doing absolutely nothing. So he does want to get to the front, but he feels doomed to staying on the Doris and is just very unhappy here. Until February, where he gets a lucky for him, Captain Prothero's back on the ship after a spell in hospital. And the new Marine Major has arrived because the last one has died in action.
As these things often happen.
Yeah. So he takes the chance here to try and request going to the front. So this is him, how he describes approaching the captain to ask permission. I was terrified and shaking, but made a noise and woke him. He glared a bit and looked very fierce, but I managed to stammer out my response. All he said was, "Want to go to the front, do you, boy?" "Yes, please, sir. Wait outside while I write a note," he growled, and I retired. He always regarded this conversation as the bravest deed of his life.
And that's including what happens in the future as well.
Yes, it seems this Prothero is a very intimidating man.
Well, he's a very well-known detective.
Yes.
And he's played by Gilderoy Lockhart from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
It's quite the legacy in the future.
Yes, he's become quite proficient with the memory charm, I believe.
Yeah. So, I'm just
glancing over that one. Okay.
So yes, he's off to war at the age of 16.
That's not when you want to go to war.
No. And he, again, also, he was jealous of people go a year because they were a year younger than him. So, like, a lot of this is 15-year-olds. But yeah, he heads north on a train, joining up with the Naval Brigade, who are serving with Lord Roberts, who happens to be a friend of his father's. He recollects spending a lot of time with Lord Roberts at the zoo.
It's my dad's friend from the zoo.
Yeah. So the marching here is like 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. and then 3 p.m. till 10 p.m. to avoid the heat. And also just a lot of marching. 14 hours a day.
I cannot imagine that's a particularly pleasant experience, especially in that part of the world.
No. Which, he's not enjoying the walk. So at one point, someone catches a horse, which he can ride for a couple of days. There is one issue, however.
I'm sure it's nothing to do with the horse.
It is. The horse is blind, so must be started 90 degrees from the direction you want to go.
The horse has got drag on, like the same way a controller does on like one of the thumbsticks.
Yeah. And it's just like, right, everyone, we're going like a collar ball facing the same direction, and a guy on a horse perpendicular to them, and then like turning to go alongside them. He describes this in a letter to his father. He goes, I can't ride, but I can stick on, which is just as good. So he's...
This is his first rodeo.
Yeah. They're also having some fun on the horse in between the horrific marching and the war. So in the same letter, I mentioned that I had been out on a wood chopping party with Mr. Ernest Lowe, a gunner. He and I tried wrestling on horseback and pushing each other off on opposite sides. He came down on his head, but I came down in a sitting position. Lowe, for his service in South Africa, was one of the first 4 officers to be awarded the now Distinguished Service Cross. But they've still not had any fighting at this point, and it's pretty dull. At one point, Roberts comes over from the army to the Naval Brigade and gives some sort of like rousing speeches and does a inspection. And then to ABC's horror, requests him by name.
Yeah, you don't want the teacher to call you out in front of the class.
No.
Ask you to stay behind.
The extreme version, this is the general.
Yeah, this is far worse.
But yeah, because they knew each other, he just was sort of surprised to see him there. I was like, hey, kind of like, what are you doing here?
Oh, that's even worse when the teacher knows your family and they like stay back afterwards and everyone's like, oh, teacher's pet, you know the teacher. I had that in school a few times.
Yeah. Well, I felt I had one of them in our school a few years older than us, but you just hear about them. So when a kid's in the same school that their parent teaches at,
Oh, yeah. That must be a real
horrible.
drag.
Yeah.
I've worked with a family member before, and
Yeah.
it's so odd. Because as well as that, it was a parent, and I had to call them by actual name. And it felt so alien.
Yeah. So the army are heading off here again, leaving behind 2 guns as a defensive position for the town they're on. ABC's pissed when he's one of the midshipmen assigned to the guns. He describes it as dull, but is happy when he does get... Eventually, Lord Robert comes back into the naval camp and asks to see him, and surprised when he's not there and orders to see him. So he thinks of his relationship. I do not think my acquaintance with Lord Roberts did me much good in the end, as afterwards I had good reason to appreciate that I was highly unpopular with the captain, probably because he thought I'd used my influence to circumvent his wishes, which makes sense.
I get that.
So he has to catch up with the Naval Brigade again, so he's jumping on the trains, joins up with a group of Marines who are waiting for ammo, and they set off again. The final day before he catches up with them, he can hear the naval guns. He hears that they're only 6 miles ahead. So at 8 o'clock, he's started a fire on a train station and is frying bacon.
Nice bit of light arson to make your food at the train station.
Yep. And who rides in but the paymaster, who said the guns had started moving at 7 and were going 19 miles, which means he has a 25-mile march that day, which is a marathon.
He's got some bacon in him, though.
Oh, yeah. Fortunately, he runs into 2 soldiers who have also acquired a pony, and they set off in a cart together until the pony sort of flounders, and then they let it go and do the rest of it on foot. And he's assigned again to artillery guns. Just in time for the Battle of Pretoria on June 4th, which kicks off at 6:30 a.m. Here's some snippets from a letter he wrote about that. Then as the bullets began to fly from Boer snipers, we moved back a bit, where we stayed for about half an hour, and all the time the bullets were coming over our heads. But the worst was yet to come. Hearing that a party of Boer snipers in a copage on the right were making it pretty hard for the 4-7s, we moved forward to another position to shell them out and did so. Suddenly there came a whir and a scream, then a bang. A Boer shell burst amongst 4 horses and broke one's leg. Then the fun began. We were on the skyline and they were weighing in and shelling us with 3 or 4 guns. The RA had come up to our right, but they could not stand it, so they were limbered up away. We stuck there and fired away, well, one shell bursting in front of the gun, and I moved to another, one burst in front of the other, throwing dust all over us. So pretty intense experience there, pretty close to dying.
Yeah, he nearly got blown up. I mean, poor horse got injured.
Yeah. But then looking back on this, when he was writing the autobiography, he says that was potentially the pardonable exuberance of a 16-year-old midshipman under fire for the first time. Looking back on it, I doubt if the Boers were putting up any real serious resistance. There was plenty of rifle fire and bullets flicking about, but nothing really much in the way of shelling. So potentially those like letters are him either it's the first time he's under fire, so it's all bigger, or he's exaggerating it up to sound better in the letters home. But
You seem fairly humble so far.
yeah, it seems more like, I'm guessing because he's later on, he's in like massive naval things with like dozens of battleships and like air carriers. It's like, this is actually very small scale, relative to the stuff he's going to be getting involved in later.
Yes, yeah, it changes his perspective massively.
The Naval Brigade has had a really rough time. They're all dirty, all their clothes are tattered. Most of them have got dysentery. All that remains of this period are 14 officers, 100 sailors, and 70 marines, all manning artillery at this point. So they've lost about 600 of their contingent.
That's a big difference.
Bad losses. So they reach Belfast on August 25th, held by the Boers, and over the following 2 days have a battle that goes by that name. He wrote to his mother on the 31st, we were wakened by the Boer shells bursting around. We shelled them all day with few intervals, and they shelled us and also sniped us. No one was hit, and we were given credit for silencing 2 guns. So at this point, Lord Roberts gives them an order, hey, head back to Pretoria. It turns out his father's been appointed to Royal Commission of Medicine for South Africa here, and has come to do an inspection and like set up medical arrangements. So he's leaving the Naval Brigade again, back on the trains. And there's an interesting bit here, I thought, where because his family's on a medical thing and he's actively serving, there's like some pretty serious high-level discussions about, is it breaking the Geneva Convention for you to be on the train with your parents?
That's a very extreme case of red tape.
Yes.
You don't want to mess that one up.
No, it does settle in his favour eventually, so he's is allowed to stay with them. And he has a relatively comfortable week at this point, travelling around on the train before he starts to head back and rejoins the Naval Brigade, who are ordered back to the ships in September after 7 months of war and a lot of hard marching and a bit of fighting in between, but just marching themselves to death, basically. He's 17, so his birthday's happened at this point.
Hey, happy birthday, ABC.
Hey. They did get accommodated well. A small contingent, over the period of 9 months, no one was brought before a commanding officer for any crime, neglect of duty, slackness. And they're just going to get the train back to the Doris here, but there's one last sort of bit of excitement before they do. The train they're on fails to brake and like hurtles downhill towards another station which has a train in it.
I thought you were going to say a fire cooking bacon.
No. They all have to jump clear of the train, and 2 who don't manage it die. Which is like really a kick in the face.
Surviving that conflict and then dying in a train accident.
Yeah.
That's very Narnia.
Yeah. So he gets back to the Doris and found that much of my own gear that I had set down at the front had been purloined, including, greatly to my annoyance, 20 of the solid gold discs, which Kruger had struck when he ran out of regular coinage. Given the option of staying on the station or going home, I chose the latter, and a few days later, in the middle of October, sailed from Cape Town in the transport Lake Erie. So he's still in the Navy, but he's leaving South Africa, heading back to England for a new assignment.
And I'm sure an assignment that will bear much fruit towards his future career.
Yeah. So he said he didn't regret it, even though it seemed like a pretty rough time with some sort of hijinks with horses in between. But,
classic meat face.
Yeah. He thought of it as a grand experience for a boy of 17 to have lived in considerable discomfort and to have had to fend for his men and himself in all sorts of unfamiliar conditions, inseparable from active service ashore in a strange country. It taught one responsibility and self-reliance, living, so to speak, on one's wits and doing make-do with improvisation. It also brought him in close contact with the army, which would be very useful in years to come. And above all, it caused him to realise the cheerful endurance and the many other sterling qualities of the versatile and adaptable person that is the British sailor. So, yeah, that's ABC. He's 17 and he's fought in the Boer War.
Sounds low-key traumatic for him.
Yeah.
Sounds like he shrugged it off a little bit, but I imagine a lot of these experiences probably had a long-lasting effect on him. The sort of nearly being blown up on his horse.
Oh, yeah.
The train crash. The actual battles he partook in. I feel like there's a lot of stuff there that really does sit with you for a long time, and it seems like he's brushed it off fairly blasé.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously existed, but PTSD and then shell shock before that sort of became a thing when World War One. I guess it's because millions of people were coming home from particularly brutal warfare, but it seemed that there was a lot of just sort of deal with it, I guess.
Well, yeah, the psychological, I guess, infrastructure for assessing that kind of thing did not exist for a while.
Well, I guess also he's brought up from the age of 10 to be a naval officer and a warrior and, like, in that culture. To, like, you wonder if, like, Spartans or Romans or, like, particularly martial cultures that, like, inoculates
it must
against some of it to a certain extent.
Yeah, maybe not in a particularly healthy way, but maybe you sort of become numb to it. It's sort of
the keep calm, carry on while the bombs drop. It's like you do your thing regardless of what's happening around you.
Quite extreme sort of preemptive exposure therapy.
Yeah.
Where you've already been around this kind of environment, so maybe when you're actually in it actively, it's not as jarring. You've become sort of desensitized to it.
Or outside of it afterwards.
Yes.
It makes sense in the worldview you've been given.
Yeah.
More so than like random violence, like if you're not familiar with it.
It's a very strange way to contextualize the world.
Yeah.
One that I'm glad I don't have. I do not envy that at all. Well, that's history for you.
It is.
Hey, we got that's the second run round, and we got it, and it was as interesting the second time round.
Oh, good.
So we didn't lose anything on my end, and for everyone listening, this is your first time round, your first bite at the cherry. So
maybe a little more refined.
Yeah, maybe so. I enjoyed it. It was always good. I love Poirot. Gal Gadot had a cameo appearance.
Yeah.
So everyone had a great time. All was well, especially for ABC.
Oh yeah.
He made it through. He had some bacon on the train station. Well, that covers off history. We did forget actually last time to mention this, so this is a good job if anything. Because what we do have still until the end of this month is the merch store, which is still going.
Yeah, it'll be up for like another week after this comes out.
Yeah, so we've got a merch store. A lot of you guys have been asking us to pop some stuff out. We have. It's still there for the end of the month. It's on. It'll be on the episode description. It will be on the. It's a link on the Instagram. Not on the website, I believe. We haven't quite figured that out. It's just a few bits and pieces, some hats.
Well,
mugs.
It's sort of a trial store, so we weren't going to link it fully up. Because if you're outside of the US, postage will potentially be a bit steep.
Yeah, the shipping is something we haven't been able to figure out just yet. We do have a solution which will roll out for a permanent store in the future. Bear with us on when that'll be. So if you do want to grab something, the shipping is pretty high at the moment internationally, outside of the US. That's just where this stuff is made. So yeah, if you want to grab something, have a look. And if you want to hang on until later, then you can. And thanks again to everyone who has ordered. I believe all of the orders that have been made so far have been delivered. Hope it's nice stuff. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you're wearing it or drinking from it with pride. But yeah, we'll get you an update when that's rolled out permanently. Additionally, we did not mention how to get in touch with us if you want to send us some mail.
Oh, it's good. I completely messed it up.
Because we just bombed through last time. So for anyone who wants to send some mail, the email address is info@warwithamate.co.uk. We have an Instagram page, which is just War With A Mate. We post a weekly update for the episodes. And there's also our website, warwithamate.co.uk. There's a web form on there if you want to send something over that way. anything it is, I mean, you'll know by this point. We get some weird and wonderful emails, some great questions, some odd anecdotes, some field trips. Anything that you would like to send over, we'll be happy to read it out. We'll be happy to read it ourselves. Anything you want to send, we don't really have much of a restriction on that. I guess just
fire it over.
Hate mail would be, I guess, less than ideal, but we haven't had any yet. So I don't know, if you want to send our first bit of hate mail, go for it.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
If someone's listened all the way through to this is a long episode. If someone's listened all the way to this point and they've decided to send hate mail, more power to them. You know who I want to send hate mail to, Andy?
Is this something we could agree on?
Well, you see, we had a common ground that we went over yesterday when we started recording this and when we did it the first time round. And we reached a consensus very quickly. So this is a bit of a unique common ground, because this is meant to be a time for us to come together, and we did just that yesterday. It was great. I loved it. And I was going to bring this back up, and we were going to come with a united front. It was going to be such a magical common ground where, to make up for this instance of a blip where we had to re-record the following day, we were going to come in really strong. We were going to have a united front with backed up information, research to really go ham on this topic. And when I sat down here, you told me you've changed your fucking mind.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? So,
well, tell them what it is, and I'll tell you my take.
Yesterday, what did I say yesterday? I want to outlaw anyone who is currently employed as or runs a business which carries out the cleaning of wheelie bins. Ah, yes, that was it. Bin cleaners. Cleaning a wheelie bin is such a bizarre concept. And we went over this yesterday. We'll rehash it now because no one else was here. We don't know how commonplace this is anywhere else in the world. But for your wheelie bin in the UK, your wheelie bin, you put your household refuge into it.
Trash.
You put your trash, your rubbish, your crap. You put it into your wheelie bin, either the general waste one or the recycling one. And they get picked up by the council on alternating weeks. 1 week it's the general waste, one it's the recycling. And somehow some people have made a living on the back of cleaning these bins. And these are private companies, these are individuals, these are, let's face it, rapscallions, people who are making, I say an honest living on cleaning it. It's like a 30-second job to quickly spray some water and I imagine some nice smelling fragrances
and
into your bin.
And a task we had completely agreed on. Pointless to clean a bin that's outside.
It's a bin for your rubbish. It's meant to fucking smell.
And
that's the idea of it. It's meant to stink. And I had a conversation with someone not too long ago who does get their wheelie bin cleaned. £3.50 for a clean. £3.50 for a 30-second job.
You see, I was thinking about that, and this is where my disagreement comes in.
Right, so what? How do you disagree with this being a bad idea?
Because you went, fuck the bin cleaners.
More or less, yeah.
I've come round to it. I've got a bit of respect for that hustle. The people paying for it are complete fucking morons. But the guys actually, getting paid to do it, to a certain extent, fair play. If you can trick a bunch of people into thinking their bins need to be cleaned, and they have to pay you to do it every week...
That's the crazy thing as well.
Good on you.
This is a weekly thing. Every single week, they are cleaning your general waste bin and also the recycling bin. Why is your recycling bin dirty? Because it's meant for degradables. It's meant for cardboard. It's stuff that shouldn't be filthy or smelly. If it is, it probably can't be recycled. That's my understanding.
Yeah, you've messed up.
Yeah, you're putting the wrong thing into your recycling bin. So I guess, first of all, you're neglecting your bin already. If you need your recycling bin clean, something's gone wrong. And if
it's the bin equivalent of not looking after your dog at all, but taking him to the vet once a month and being like, that'll handle all the neglect I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm not feeding the dog properly.
Yeah.
I'm not taking him out for walks, but I'll take him to the vet and the vet will just fix this. No, you're doing it wrong. And if you need your general waste bin cleaned, then do it yourself. It's free. Yes, it may take a bit longer. You probably don't have whatever special apparatus, and you can't see the air quotes I'm doing, but I am doing them because realistically, this isn't special apparatus. It's probably just a glorified hose, maybe a pressure washer. I've
come round on it because fair enough on the bin cleaners because if this is a worry in your life is comfortable enough that people can take £3 a week off you.
I mean, I suppose so, but that's the dangerous thing. What if you're not comfortable?
Then just say I'm happy having a dirty bin.
But people fall into this trap because it's part of the last dying part of the dynasty of window cleaners and milkmen. You know, it's people who used to show up at your front door and provide a service. Yeah. And then it became door-to-door salesmen and people trying to solicit for charity donations, which that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's, again, people showing up at your front door and just wanting money. But these people, they've tricked everyone. They'll trick entire streets. I now see people on my Facebook feed who are actively asking if anyone knows any wheelie bin cleaners. How do you find out about them and just want that?
I see that as the kind of stupidity of someone on Facebook asking how to get into like NFTs in 2025. It's like it's all dumb, but kind of fair play to the grifter.
No, not
because
fair
it's
play.
such a low tier thing to get grifted about. That it's kind of just funny to me now.
But you shouldn't be encouraging this grift.
I do like grifters though.
Yeah, I know you do. You've got a lot of flaws, Andy. And this is one of them.
Everyone loves grifters when they're not getting grifted.
I don't... I wouldn't say I
Especially
love
this
it.
kind of grift, rather than, like, you know, divisive political grifting. If you're just, like, scamming people on a low level, like The Real Hustle.
Oh, that's such a good program. That's so
They
funny.
would do that on The Real Hustle. And I think any crime those guys would commit maybe shouldn't even be a crime.
Well, that program was all about trying to steal luggage for the most part.
Or make people ring premium rate phone lines.
Oh, I love how many episodes of that program was just them stealing someone's phone in a cafe, then not
It's
selling
just a
the phone.
different location where they go. The con is like, yeah, as you say, 50% of the time going, oh, hey, my phone's out of battery. Do you mind if I just like ring my partner or whoever? They're expecting me just to arrange transport. And then you just get on, you call a premium rate phone number, and you just stand in front of them having as long a fake conversation as possible while a bank account trades.
It was either that, or they would take the phone, they would change the contact name from someone on their phone, like they would change, like, you know, their mother or their partner or something, and they would just change the number to a premium phone number, like a phone rate, and then they would send a text message from that number and be like, oh, I need you to call me, or I need you to text me, or whatever, and then just rack up these massive costs on a phone bill.
And then the other 50% of this cons were a two-man job, because one person would talk to someone and distract them, while someone else ran up behind them and stole their luggage in, like, high vis or dressed as a waiter.
And it would always be like a very like intricate plan where it's like 5 or 6 steps.
To steal, like, 50 quid's worth of stuff.
It's like luggage with, like, you know, maybe you strike gold and there's a laptop in there or something. But for the most part, it's probably just fucking clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe a phone charger and a power bank. But realistically, you're just grabbing someone's clothes. It's not a good scam, and neither is this. £3.50 a pop. Yes, I know it's a quick job, but there must be a sense of shame, surely. Wheelie bin cleaners as a profession should be outlawed, was my common ground. And surely you still stand on that same point. It should be outlawed.
No.
If not for the fact that I think it's a deplorable scheme, but you just pointed it out there, for the well-being of the victims of this.
It's good.
It's not good.
It's a level of, like... Because no one is, like, struggling is going to be like, yes, keep cleaning my bin. It's kind of just like a thing to skim a little off the comfort. You shouldn't care about how dirty your bin is.
Yes, correct.
And I think if you do, you should be punished for it.
Okay, you know what? I kind of agree with that.
I think that is basically what I've been getting to.
You know what? I guess they've built a rod for their own back here. What they've done is they've decided that this is something that they need. You've now locked yourself into this.
Yeah.
This is your own mechanism of personal torture.
Yes.
You're a masochist. You know, right, I suppose so we're doing that with the game in a way. So we decided...
you can't... Yeah, I guess we also can't be like, your life's too comfortable. You should pay to clean your bin. Anyway, I'm going to spend hundreds of pounds and thousands of hours playing a board game.
Yeah, I guess kids in glass houses. All right, so yeah, I guess at the risk of sort of exposing ourselves as being the same kind of person, maybe we just let that one sit there. Maybe we just kind of shuffle that under. If you want to pay for your bin to be cleaned, I think it's a very, very bad idea. But
And I'd like to know about it.
yes, if
If
anyone
I
does...
meet... No, not from the fans.
Oh, yes. If
In
anyone...
my personal life, if someone pays to get their bin cleaned, I'd like them to let me know so I can, like, message them once a week and be like, hey, can I borrow a $5?
And if anyone does get their bin cleaned who's listening, let us know why. I want to know the actual rationale behind this. And if it's just...
We're going to get emails where it's like, yes, this is... Why is your bin filthy? It's like... We've missed a very obvious thing and we're just slobs.
Yeah, well, I know that bin, I get wanting things to be clean, but this goes outside and it's constantly full of rubbish. So it should be dirty. That's what it's designed to do. And for those who are wondering, if you want a replacement wheelie bin from the council, it's around £30. So if you're paying £3.50 a week, just wait 10 weeks and buy a new wheelie bin. Just get rid of the old one. Yes, it's very environmentally damaging. I guess I can't really do anything about that point, but if you want to do that, there is an option, I suppose. It's going to be a huge spike in the amount of wheelie bin replacement claims coming through the council.
Just killed one industry and propped up another.
Well, you know what? It's more money for the local council, and a wheelie bin definitely doesn't cost £30, so hopefully that just means it's an influx into the local area, and it means that we can restore the parks, we can fill the potholes, and we can help local communities. So if anything, this is a moment of political activism, and we're making a real change here. So if you want to help your local area...
Buy bins.
Yeah. Don't pay the wheelie bin cleaner, get a replacement bin, help the local community. That is the common ground.
That can be some common ground.
Well,
think local.
Well, on that local note... I think we've bid a farewell. We may have released this one a little bit late. However, this is a nice bumper-sized episode. You've really got some bang for your buck. So
hopefully we've made up for it.
And if not, I'm very sorry. We can't do anything about that now. We can't go back in time. We can only go forward. And with that...
yeah.
I'm James.
I'm Andy. It's been listening to War of Mate. Stay subtle, humble, and brave.
And in the deserts of your minds, watch out for that bacon cooking on some train stations. And do not get your wheelie bin cleaned. Farewell.